Today across Taiwan, a barrier lake in Hualien is on the verge of overflowing, and residents downstream are on high alert. I'm Garrett.
And I'm Leah. Welcome to Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett, bringing you updates from Taipei. First up, the barrier lake on the Wanli River in Hualien is nearing overflow levels. Officials say it is at about 96% capacity today. The Central Emergency Operations Center, which is Taiwan's national response hub for disasters, is preparing to issue a red alert evacuation order as early as July 18th. A red alert is the highest warning. It means move to safety now. What's buying time is the weather. Rainfall has stayed low, and the natural dam formed from landslide debris looks stable. Monitors show no internal erosion, meaning water is not tunneling through the dam. That reduces the risk of a sudden break. Based on current flow, officials estimate a normal overflow, not a burst, possibly around 2 p.m. on July 18th. On preparations, crews have inspected sirens and text alert systems. 210 residents closest to the river have been preemptively evacuated. Emergency shelters are stocked with food, water, and medical supplies. Key bridges near the river will close if the red alert is issued to keep people off potentially hazardous crossings. One more technical note. The measured water movement rate has dipped from about 7,200 to 6,200 tons per hour. Think of that as a slower release, which can affect timing, but not the overall need for caution.
That's a solid response. The stability call is reassuring. If sensors are showing no internal erosion, that's a green flag for a controlled overflow rather than a sudden blowout. And getting those 210 folks out early, plus ready-to-go shelters and bridge closures queued up, that's exactly what you want to see. Why the mid-afternoon estimate, by the way?
Good question. They're mapping inflow and outflow under current dry skies. With low rain, levels rise more predictably during the day, so mid-afternoon is their best model point right now. If weather shifts, that timeline shifts too.
All right, let's roll on. Next up, in Taipei, over 300 people gathered at Liberty Square for a candlelight vigil honoring Tibetan activist Lobga Rongzin. He's the activist who self-immolated, meaning he set himself on fire, outside the United Nations headquarters on July 2nd to protest China's policies in Tibet. The gathering at Liberty Square, our big civic plaza beside the National Theater and Concert Hall, also protested China's new ethnic unity law. Speakers included Vice President Xiao Kim, who emphasized ongoing support for Tibetan human rights, Kelsang Gyaltsen Bawa, a Taiwan-based Tibetan representative who framed the event as resistance to authoritarian control, and Sky Feng, a human rights advocate who called the law a tool for stripping identity. Mourners offered white scarves called kata, observed a moment of silence, chanted prayers, and in a striking act, tore copies of the law.
That one gave me chills. Real talk. People standing together in grief and principle matters. Tearing up the law was symbolic but powerful. It said this policy, which many see as enforcing ideological control, is not acceptable. And hearing the Vice President, Xiao Kim, speak makes it feel closer to home here in Taipei. Why now? 2 weeks after the law took effect.
Timing aligned with the 2-week mark and the memorial for Lobga Rongzin. It allowed organizers to mourn and also underline the policy shift in one moment. That's something to chew on, huh?
Okay, let's move on. Next up, Taiwan is considering revisions to its food recall rules amid safety concerns tied to Central Union Oil, an oil supplier now under investigation. Health Minister Shi Chungliang said the current system divides incidents into 10 categories, but newer, more complex cases do not always fit neatly. The goal is faster, clearer recalls. Authorities ordered preventive removal of certain products while labs test and trace the source. Preventive removal means pulling items off shelves first and confirming later to protect the public. One snag: some retained samples, the small saved portions from original batches, turned out unreliable. That makes tracing harder and is exactly why they want stronger, more adaptive rules.
Yeah, that checks out. If your sample chain is shaky, your testing and timelines wobble. Updating the 10-bucket rulebook to handle edge cases is smart. I'm down for that. And quicker, standardized testing protocols would help, so when something's flagged, you are not guessing whether the sample tells the real story. Let's keep it moving. Next up, Taiwan's National Fire Agency is warning that drowning deaths peak in July. Summer streams, rivers, and beaches look calm, but currents and sudden drops can be brutal. The agency is pushing a simple playbook called Look, Choose, and Learn. Look, check weather, currents, and water levels before you go. Choose, swim only in designated safe areas with lifeguards. Learn, know your limits, wear a life jacket if you are not a strong swimmer, and keep an eye on your energy level. And if someone is in trouble, do not attempt a risky hands-on rescue unless you are trained. Use a flotation device and call for professionals.
Totally. Drowning can happen in seconds, and often quietly. No dramatic splashing, just silence. I know it feels instinctive to jump in, but the bystander can become the second victim. Grab a float, reach or throw, and get help. And for families heading to rivers near Taipei this weekend, pick spots with posted lifeguards and clear depth markers. Let's not let this one slide by. Last up, Professor Chen Yuhua of National Taiwan University breaks down why it is so hard to reverse Taiwan's falling birth rates. She points to longer education timelines and later entry into stable work. People are in their late 20s or 30s before they even consider starting families. Add in limited affordable childcare and rigid work hours, and the window to have kids, which is biologically shorter than a career, shrinks fast. Chen argues cash payments alone do not cut it. Families need everyday support, childcare that is affordable and nearby, flexible work such as adjustable hours or remote options, and policies that treat children as a public responsibility, where costs and support are shared by society, not just individual parents. That includes support for different household types, not just one model.
That's worth exploring. Flexible work and reliable childcare are levers you can actually pull. If you make it easier for people to keep their careers on track while raising kids, more folks might choose to have them. Treating children as a shared investment with steady services instead of one-off cash could move the needle. All right, that ties it up nicely.
That wraps up today's episode of Laid Back Local, the news of the day with Leah and Garrett. Thanks for tuning in, Taipei. Have a great day and join us again tomorrow.